fall Fighstick frenzy. Here is my second build of the month, unless you count that little Tron Dorbs thing I did, which I don't. That was just a tutorial I was going to do anyway. But I did. It is Fighstick related, so if you want to count that, sure. But anyway, that wasn't fall or Halloween themed, and this is very much so. You can probably already tell what it is from the intro. But I turned this Goosebumps tin into a button box, hitbox, leverless, whatever you want to call it. And this is actually a collector's tin from the 25th or so anniversary of Goosebumps. What does it say on here? What anniversary it is? But they made, there's 3 of these out so far for different, there's like 10th, 15th, 20th, or 15th, 20th, 25th. They're different colors for the different, however long Goosebumps has been around. I don't know, this is the only one I have, but I've seen, when I was looking this up, I also saw a purple one and a orange one. And they also have different books in them, like the most iconic Goosebumps books for each one. This is the one I liked color-wise the most. The purple one I kind of like too. The orange one, I may get around to the other two at some point in my life, as I'm making another Fighstick out of these, but this is what I want to start with. I never actually really read the Goosebumps books as a kid. Of course, this tin came with the book because they were in it. So, I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them now. So I might as well read them at some point. They're short. Like, of these commenters, let me know which one is the best to start with. Welcome to Dead House, Say Cheese and Die, One Day at Horrorland. Horrorland's like a whole franchise now, isn't it? Night of the Living Dummy, and Haunted Mask. Even though I didn't read the books, I do have some nostalgia for the TV show, which I also didn't watch when it was like current, but they had like reruns of it on Cartoon Network, and I have some fond Halloween memories of watching that with my sister and just making fun of it. That show is like peak so bad it's good content. Anyway, on to the build itself. This is the best Fighstick in terms of practicalness I've made so far from things out of scratch. It was very simple because button boxes are easier than having to deal with the joystick. And the size of this worked out pretty well too. These are low-profile Seimitsu buttons. They had to be low-profile because anything bigger I was not going to be able to fit in there. And I put it on the bottom here, which is a little bit unusual because a lot of these tin lunchboxes and such have the same art on the bottom as the top, like exact same. This one doesn't. All the like interesting art, all the book covers are on the front or at the top, whereas just back has just this G, and I didn't feel right covering up like the actual art and then leaving just this part flat. And also, I mean, book covers are on the side as well, but I like the idea of you can set this, if the wire's out of the way, you can set this down and like just think it's just a Goosebumps tin, and then you flip it over, and then you reveal the controller components. So that's pretty cool. So, like I said, these are all Seimitsu low profile buttons. I chose all the same color. I'll have some other fun things to do with it, but kept it simple to start with. There was just enough left of these in stock at Focus Attack. Yeah, I think I got them on Focus Attack. That I just wanted to order them simply like that. And I had a bunch of these too. You'll be seeing these come up again in my later builds. These are, I don't know what brand these are actually. I got them on Amazon. Much smaller. It's nice to work with these because they don't take much space, which in a very small, thin build like this, that is important. So these are your home, select, touchpad, and start buttons. I think that's the order I have them in. I'll check that after. And then, of course, just had to drill a hole to make the USB come out. And this is very short, because all I had left with these were short ones, but you can always use an extender or replace it, whatever. I'll actually show you the wiring on this one, because I've been learning. I haven't made as much of a problem with wiring as I did with SpongeBob and the Maple stick. So just take this off, and here it is inside. Like, not pretty. It's nothing pretty, but it is functional and able to close without squashing any of this. The key to doing this was that I didn't have like any already built wire harnesses. I was just able to cut and crimp the wires to just the right size they needed so they weren't taking up any extra space. So theirs are all quite short. Once again, this is powered by a Raspberry Pi Pico running the GP2040 firmware, which is the same thing as the Pico Fight board, which, I mean, Pico Fight board is just Raspberry Pi Pico that some people like made their own version of that was easier to do without soldering, and then they can sell it that way. But I've learned how to solder myself, so all I needed to do was just a regular Raspberry Pi Pico, which is good because that also doesn't take up much space. So the SpongeBob one wasn't as wide as this, but was slightly thicker than this, so I was a bit worried starting this was going to run into the same problems as that one in terms of space for the wires, but like I said, cutting them down to smaller pieces made this work a lot better. And it's nice that this just come off and make adjustments as needed, in case, again, pretty amateur wiring job, but it's functional. But if any of these things do come undone, I know what to do to fix it. I can just open it back up and fix it. And then you can just put this back on tight, and it goes back to just being a Goosebumps tin. Yeah, it is pretty comfortable. Again, just kind of freehand measured it to like my own hand measurements. And this might honestly become my go-to for fighting games because I like the hitbox-style layout, and this is comfortable and compact and good. So speaking of that, just see it in action. I'm going to load up a game now. All right, I've got Guilty Gear Strive running here. Probably my favorite modern fighting game, maybe even fighting game, period. I haven't played it in a while, though. I haven't even played it since that big update with Season 2 and Season 3 and Johnny and everything. Because Mortal Kombat came out, well, Street Fighter 6 came out, then Mortal Kombat came out. I've been playing those more because they were new, but I honestly like Guilty Gear Strive more. Like, every new game, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the new game. I'm gonna play this. And then, like, everyone just reminds me of how much more I like Guilty Gear Strive. But that's not a bad problem to have. Anyway, rambling there. It's on my Steam Deck again, just because it's the easiest way to show it, and it's also just where I own it. I also own Strive on PS5 as well, but I don't really play it on that anymore. Because I couldn't be able to use this controller on that, because, you know, Sony and official controllers and all that. So, as you can see, slowly moving right, slowly moving left, ducking, standing up, jumping. It all works. Yep. And, of course, let's just go down the buttons. How I have it mapped might be different than you, but that's okay. Punch, kick, slash, no, punch, kick, slash, heavy slash, dust, burst. I accidentally pressed it twice there. I can just keep doing it when I'm training mode. Who's gonna stop me? You know. So, specials, very easy to do on the box layout. Very easy to do. Not really noticing any delay at all. Yeah, just trying to get back used to the pacing that's been playing Mortal Kombat mostly, but there we go. There's my bread and butter combo for Faust. Faust is my main. And Roman cancel. There's that thing. Actually cosplayed Faust. Fun fact. Yeah. Everything's working good, and I am happy. Yeah, I'm not super comfortable how I'm leaning over like this, trying to watch the camera at the same time, but it is working how it's supposed to. And in my lap, it'll be more comfortable, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. So yeah, Fall Fighstick Frenzy. There are more on the way, and I know I said I was going to do like 5 of them and 5 different Fighstick builds, and we're already October 20th. We're almost near the end of the month. What am I going to do? Well, the truth is, the other ones are pretty much already built. I just need to wire them, and so I really can kind of hammer out those videos fairly soon. But if I do happen to run out of time to wire and film, which is very possible considering October is also just a very busy month at work for me and other things I'm doing in addition to my little hobbies like this. So in the event that I don't end up having time to wire them, I will at least try to record videos just showing them as they are now without the wiring. I won't be able to show a gameplay demo with them if that's the case, but I'll still show you the build, which is really the more important. Well, not the more important in terms of what I'm going to use them for, but in terms of interesting to look at in the video part, that's the more important part. So be on the lookout for those, but for now, have a great night. Happy spooky month, and go watch Goosebumps or read Goosebumps. whatever you prefer. Let me know which Goosebumps are tighter. Oh yeah, so because even though there are low profile buttons, it does press down on them a little bit even when you set it down like this, so it is still actuating. So if you just set this down, Faust is going to just kind of jump forever. Or, yeah. But that's okay. You can. It's still looks fine, and I'm going to have it like this whenever I'm playing anyway. So yeah, thanks for watching, and have a happy rest of your October.